Urban Legends, Rob Davies, Utopia FM.
Okay, so first of all, DJ Ironik.
Yeah.
First of all, let's just go back to the name. I know you probably get asked this quite a lot. The name DJ Ironik, where does that come from exactly?
It was kind of random, actually. Like, I was just at school, basically, and everyone else had the name, like a silly name, so I just stuck with that, and it just stuck with me throughout my whole career and just my life in general, so...
As I understand, you were a DJ from quite a young age as well before you went into MC. And what caused you to make the transaction between being a club DJ to going on to make records as an MC?
I think because I started out as a DJ when I was 13, and then I went on to producing when I was about 15, and I was producing for a lot of sort of grime artists, so like Wiley and Lethal B and people like that I was producing for, and I suppose just being in the surroundings and working with so much people who have good writing skills, it sort of inspired me to just start my own writing career, and that's what I started doing when I got to about 17, 18, and now I'm 21 and I do it all, so...
I mean, it's quite hard to define the genre of your music. I mean, there's R&B, there's grime, hip-hop. I mean, where would you place the music that you produce on that scale?
I'll just call it experimental, because I mean, all my songs sound different, all my music sounds different. One day you could hear me doing a pop record, next day you could hear me doing an R&B record. I just like to make music, man. That's just it, really, because I listen to so much different types as well. It kind of influences me in my musical style, so...
I mean, if you listen to a lot of your lyrics as well, there's quite a personal note in a lot of that. I mean... I mean, that even the name of the album itself, No Point in Wasting Tears, is that right? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, where do you get the inspiration for some of the meaning of your music to come from?
Lots of things. They're all real life experiences, whether I've been through them or someone I know has, or a situation I just think where someone could actually relate to that sort of situation, if you get what I mean. So, but there's been times from when I've been in relationships or just in my life itself, I've just had experiences which has made me want to write some stuff down, and I just really like my music to be positive, and maybe some people can learn from some mistakes I've gone through or something like that. So,
I mean, like you mentioned, Channel U. I mean, there's a lot of UK artists, especially in the London area, that are big out there, and there's so much competition. I mean, you came through all that. I mean, what do you think made you shine out more than the other artists out there?
I don't know, really. I think the one thing is that my music's different to other people's. Like you said, you can't really put it in one genre. So especially if the music has a mix of like R&B, pop, hip hop, that's already going to loads of different markets itself. Do you know what I mean? So it opens to a lot of doors and a lot of bigger and wider fan base, really. So I suppose that's what helped it, just making my music different to everyone else. And I have definitely worked hard because I've been doing it since I was 13, so I haven't stopped non-stop. Like last year I had about 290 shows.
Wow.
And this year I've just been doing shows every day, just making music. I make music every day as well, so, so I guess it's just putting the work in and keeping it consistent all times.
I mean, your latest single, it's out at the minute with Chipmunk and Elton John. I mean, it's doing quite well in the UK at the minute. I mean, have you had much feedback from Elton himself? Obviously he's heard the single.
Yeah, Elton John actually called me about 2 weeks ago.
Right.
That was a bit of a crazy experience, having Elton John give me a ring up. So, but it was crazy because he's a legend, and it was just a good experience. Just even having his approval of the sample Tiny Dancer in the first place was surreal, and then having a phone call, it was just crazy, man. But he was real nice.
What did he say to you when he called you?
He actually congratulated me on the success of the single. He said congratulations on getting to number 3 in the charts, and he said he loves the record itself, and all his friends up in the USA love the record. So it was just a real good thing to have that reward back after, having the success of it. So.
And you mentioned before you're doing lots of shows every day. What's the plan for the future? Is it more shows? Have you got more albums coming up in the future?
Yeah, man. Basically, I'm just gonna keep doing the same thing. It's like a cycle every year, man. It's just doing the same music, doing shows all around the world. suppose the next step is probably trying to take it over to America, which we haven't hit yet. I've done Europe. I just went to number 7 in Germany. I've had top 10s around Sweden and Norway. So, the next step will probably be America. But I'm just going to keep doing the thing, man. I've just started working on my next album. So just hope the fans stick with me.
And what can we expect from the next album? Is it more of the same thing, or are you going to do anything new, or any new guests coming on?
Yeah, definitely. Probably we're going to step it up a bit. Maybe I'd like to work with Flo Rida on it, get him on my next album, because I've worked with him quite closely recently. Also, N-Dubs, I'd like to get them on the album. Definitely, man, a lot of people, I think I'm going to call it music legend, because that's the print I want to leave into people's heads when I've finished doing music.
I mean, you mentioned before N-Dubs, they're doing quite well. So is Tinchy Strider at the minute. I mean, the UK hip hop scene itself, a few years ago, a lot of people would have just looked over it, but it seems to have jumped on. I mean, you've got Wiley, Dizzy Rascal, Kano, yourself, N-Dubs. I mean, what do you think's caused the UK hip hop scene to become big now when it wasn't a few years ago?
Well, definitely people like myself and Tinchy Strider and Dizzy Rascal. From us getting loads of chart success and having top 5s and being in the charts 24/7 is definitely helping it. And it's just, I think now it's just so easy, because the younger generation are just loving this sort of sound that we've got going on, and the sort of cool, relevant sort of sound, if you get what I mean. So, yeah, man, I'm not saying that the pop and rock music is out of business, because I love all that as well. So it's just we're all coming together now as just one big team, and the UK itself, the UK scene itself is actually selling more than the USA scene all around the world now. So I think it's just a good feeling, man, to be part of that.
And obviously you've been around about a year now in the limelight. How has that changed your life itself? I mean, obviously the fame's come in, the money's coming in. I mean, how has it changed your life in terms of the people around you? I mean, do you get treated any different? Do you still get stopped in the street by people who recognise you?
Yeah, definitely. I get not recognised quite a bit. I suppose that's just what you get with what you do, and you also have the bad side of things, and the newspapers and tabloids make up stuff, and it's just. But I just keep it going, man. The main reason why I'm doing this is just because I have a love for music, so I expect everything to come with it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I read in a magazine that you've been mistaken for T.I. on a number of occasions. Is that true?
Yeah, a few people, man, have called me T.I. A few people said I look like, who else have I had? I've had Romeo from Soul Silicon. I've had quite a few.
Right. So,
but now, I think that was like last year, I think. But now people are actually just recognising me for me, if you get what I mean. So
yeah.
If T.I. comes to the UK, they'll think he's Ironik.
Really?
No, I'm messing about.
So you were talking about before about going into America and trying to break it over there by getting American artists on your album, or maybe promoting your material in America. Do you think you can see yourself being, because obviously hip hop is absolutely massive in America at the minute, do you think you can see yourself being ranked, if you like, ahead of a lot of the American artists? Yeah,
man, definitely. On my MySpace page, you know, the second lot of biggest views I get are from America. So already, I know there's interest already from over there. My second single I released, I Want to Be Your Man, they actually wanted to sign it in America. Def Jam Records wanted to sign the record, but there were some complications with that. So, but definitely, man, it all takes time, but hopefully it can all work out. I mean, UK scene's even selling a lot in America. You got the Duffys, the Adele, the Leona Lewis, and they're just taking over there. So,
right, that's great stuff. Well, I tell you what, thanks very much for calling up.
Yeah, all right, thanks a lot, sir. Yeah.
Good luck in the future.
I appreciate that. See you later, bye.
Bye.